The toys and the tanks. Dodge Durango, different.
Wright State with a three-point advantage. Mark, you talked a moment ago about making every possession count, and certainly if you're Wright State tonight, you have to do that. You cannot afford against a team of this caliber to go 3-4 minutes without a bucket.
Well, you really can't. You have to get good shots. You have to come down, take your time with the basketball, and get good shots because they're going to rebound the basketball. You know, they've proven they can go to the boards with the best of them, so you can't count on getting second shots. And when they get it off the glass, they really look to run. And in transition, they're very difficult to defend because they're quick and they've got size and big guys that can finish. So you have to come down. You have to keep the crowd in the game, but you have to play with a lot of poise and a lot of confidence.
Michigan State early on shooting 3 of 6. Wright State hitting 4 of 6. Rebounding, which will be such a big factor tonight, favors Wright State early on by a board at 3-2. A.J. Granger spots up on the inbounds. Bruno Peterson's had a hand on the loose ball, couldn't control it, and it rolls out of bounds, and Michigan State will inbound it. Spartans come in off of a 96-63 victory over Mississippi Valley State. The Raiders coming in off of a win last Thursday against St. Mary's, 58-50. Nice entry pass to Bell, to Peterson. Hudson, cross-court, Bell spots up. High in the air is Chappelle for the rebound, and he traveled coming down.
Well, and across the floor, reading Ed Schilling's lips, he's saying, guys, you've got to go get the ball. Michigan State players a lot more athletic here early in the game, jumping for the basketball. You got to go get it. You have to box out and then go get it. One interesting point early in this game, I think, Marty's still no Marcus May, no Israel Shainfeld. Raiders with a 3-point lead.
And no Mateed Cleaves for Michigan State, the Spartans Player of the Year candidate and the first-team All-America. He was the Big Ten Co-Player of the Year last year with Ohio State's Scooney Penn. He's been nursing a stress fracture in his right leg, and he's expected back next week when they open Big Ten play when the Spartans take on the Penn State Nittany Lions. But Cleaves is in uniform and on the Spartan bench, and we were told by their sports information folks prior to the game, well, you never can tell. He is in uniform.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, if you want to win, you don't want to see him. But as a basketball fan, he's the real deal, and you want to see him perform.
Shot clock down to 5. Nelson working right side to the baseline. Raiders will not get a shot off as the ball's knocked out of bounds. Things a little out of control on that set that time, and that's one of the things we talked about earlier. You can't afford to come up empty.
Well, in Michigan State, with their size, they do such a nice job of congesting the passing lanes, and that time Kevin Melson was a man on an island. All he could do was dribble and know where to go with it. Excellent defensive possession that time by the Spartans.
Into the game for Michigan State, 6'7" junior David Thomas from Brampton, Ontario, and 6'8" freshman Aloysius Anaganye from Southfield, Michigan. Inside it's Anaganye coming away with a rebound, and a foul on the scrap inside for the loose ball. It's on Wright State's Bruno Peterson's, his second.
Well, and you really have to be impressed with the intensity. Both ends of the floor, right there, Aganye going strong for the offensive rebound. And Israel Shainfeld checking into the game. There we'll get a chance to see again Morris Peterson not finding his touch, but Aganye coming in strong. One-handed offensive rebound, and that's how you get to be in the top 10.
Spartans send it right side for Chappelle, whose three was partially blocked. And Aganye the rebound. The follow over Shainfeld, though. Players dive to the deck. Joe Bills comes away with it. The possession arrow favors Michigan State, however. The other thing you have to keep in mind, too, and Mark talked about the intensity of this game early on and the way the crowd has worked into it. Michigan State's already played in front of 25,000 people in Lexington, Kentucky this season. They were in the Final Four last year. Whatever noise the crowd makes is not going to faze these guys one little bit.
Well, you know, I'm sure these guys are thinking, what, there a blizzard outside? Where is everybody? You know, they're used to playing in front of huge crowds. Big three-pointer that time.
Mike Chappelle ties up the game with a three.
Nice-looking shot that time. Good release. Elevates high off the floor. Chappelle with the big three-pointer.
Since Wright State led 7-0, it's been a 10-3 Michigan State run to even things up. Spartans will change again. As coming into the game is 6'9" freshman Adam Ballinger from Bluffton, Indiana, as A.J. Granger sits down.
You mentioned how the Spartans have recovered. That's what a championship team is all about. They go into any environment, they'll take your best punch right off the bell, and they'll recover.
The analogy could be they didn't even blink early on when they fell behind 7-0. It was, again, what's the big deal? Here's Chappelle. And underneath, good box out. Israel Shainfeld, the miss for Wright State.
Great observation there, Marty. Excellent box out by all 5 Raiders. The ball comes down, hits the floor. Michigan State can't even get to the basketball.
And again, that's one of those areas that Wright State will have to be consistent at tonight.
Well, because it's obvious they're not going to be able to jump with these guys. Michigan State with great athletes. You just have to box them out. Israel got to look for better shots than that.
Whistle to foul on the miss as Israel Shainfeld trying to battle for his missed shot, gets hit with the foul, his first, and the 5th team foul against Wright State. Israel battling hard inside, Mark.
Well, and Gagne that time just straight up, textbook defense that time, hands straight up, contesting the shot. Israel got to look for a little bit better shot than that.
David Thomas out high with the basketball, sends it back right side for Michigan State's Jason Richardson, and a travel call. The turnover against the Spartans, that's their 2nd of the game. They average just 16 per outing. Game's even at 10 with 13-10 remaining in the first half before an almost packed house here at the Nutter Center, along with Mark Vest and our entire Time Warner Sports crew. I'm Marty Bannister. It's certainly a pleasure to have you with us here tonight. If you want to be the best, you have to beat the best, and the Raiders are seeing one of the best tonight, the Michigan State Spartans.
Well, you know, that's one way that Michigan State becomes so very, very good. They've got, as Kevin Nelson, nice drive, under control, ball off the glass. You know, you see the type of athletes that Tom Izzo continues to run in and out. These guys play against each other each day.
Another turnover by the Spartans. Nelson's bucket, his first of the game, puts Wright State ahead by a basket at 12-10. Interesting, we haven't seen Marcus May yet. Nelson travels, and just as I mentioned that, May gets off the Raider bench and will check into the game. Also coming back in for Michigan State is Andre Hudson. And sitting down is Aloysius Anaganye. And I'm sure a lot of play-by-play announcers are glad that he's out of the game. He was truly included.
And gave Tom Izzo a great 5 minutes right there. Came in, played strong on both ends of the floor, but very big physical player.
Tom Izzo in his 5th year guiding Michigan State. He was the National Coach of the Year last season as Michigan State reached the Final Four, losing in the semifinals last year to the Duke Blue Devils. Andre Hudson sends it right side now for Morris Peterson. Wrap around to Ballinger. Shot clock's down to 7. Here's Bell to Richardson. Shot clock's at 3.
Great defense by the Raiders.
Right side to Peterson. Jumper no good. And on the fight for the rebound, a foul against Michigan State. Good point, Mark. Great defense that time.
Well, and the Raiders did it by just playing under control, getting in the passing lane and contesting everything.
Timeout on the floor. Our second official is breaking the action. 11:55 remains. The Raiders head to the bench to a standing ovation from the crowd at the Nutter Center. Raiders lead Michigan State by a bucket on Time Warner Sports.